Do you want to know what's sad? After reviewing all of these Gunpla kits, I've never reviewed a single Char mobile suit. Well, that's going to change today. How's it going, guys? It is Plastic Disasta, and happy Halloween. In this finale, we're going to take a look at the most iconic Gundam villains, Char Aznavour, and this is one of his mobile suits, his Gelgoog. Appeared in the original Gundam series, and yes, I know he did pilot his own Saku 2, his own Tagak, and the Zeong. And you might be asking, well, out of all the mobile suits, why did I choose this one? Well, I think this one deserves a little more love. Taking a look at the box art, we see Char's Gelgoog looking down on you and pointing the beam rifle at you. You can look at this side of the box, it just shows off the articulation of the kit, and right over here is an action shot of the Char's Gelgoog. Taking a look at this side of the box, we have the front and rear shot of the kit, and a nice CG render of the Gelgoog going up against the Gundam. And after opening the box, we have 3 bags of runners and a manual. Here is what the cover of the manual looks like. This kit is nice and painted. Cracking open the manual, here is Char's Gelgoog, the new action pose. Right down here is a familiar CG render, and right over here we have the Gelgoog and nice detailed blueprints. Checking the parts list, it looks like we're going to have a ton of leftover polycaps. Moving to the back of the manual, here are the details of the Gelgoog. Right over here we got 2 action poses, a rear shot, and a color guide if you're planning on painting it. Starting off with runner A, it's going to be a multicolored runner, and we got what it looks like a salmon pink, school bus yellow, dark gray, and a beam naginata effect parts. There's B1 and B2, we got more of the darker pink. Runner C is going to be the dark red parts. Runner D is going to be the gray parts, small sticker sheet, and it looks like it's going to be like one of those 2 eye option stickers. And of course the old school polycap runner. So that is a quick unboxing. So I'm really intrigued so far and see how it looks on the out-of-box presentation. So I'm going to put this together right now, and I'll see you guys right after. Here is Char's Gelgoog all put together, and I have to say I am blown away when I was putting this kit together. Like, the color separation, it's really good, despite that the kit is old. When I mean by old, I mean this kit came out in 2006. You can panel line this kit, top coat it, and call it done. But the downside is there's not a lot of surface detail, but if you guys scribe, it shouldn't be a big deal to you guys. Moving on to sticker placement, and like I mentioned in the unboxing, you have 2 options. Either you can just go with the pink circle, or you can just go with the black and pink sticker. So of course I just went with the pink circle because there is like a dark gray plastic, so it's really easy for me to do that. Moving on to seam lines, and yes, I know it's ugly, but I will take care of them. You have one going on the shoulder, which is pretty common. There's one right here on the top part of the torso, and on the arms. I know you can barely see it, but there is like a seam line right over here. And moving on to the back of the legs, you have a seam line going up and down, and on the thigh you have a seam line right over here. Hey guys, Editing Plastic Disasta here. Forgot to tell you that there is a seam line on this part of the arm. That's gonna be it for the out-of-box presentation, and after what we saw, there's really not much to talk about. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on this kit, and I'll see you guys right after. After, with a little bit of effort, here is what the Gelgoog looks like. I also threw in a few decals in there, borrowed it from the Gundam Origin kits. And like I said, you don't have to do much effort on this one. It just looks great as it is. So moving on to accessories, starting off with hand options. The ones you see on the kit are the 2 of the weapon holding hands. Next up, you have 1 open palm hand for the left side. And next up, you have the trigger finger, and I already put it on the beam rifle. And nothing really special. The beam rifle doesn't really do anything, but hey, at least it looks cool. Next up, you have the melee weapon, the beam naginata, and the effect parts. You just put one effect part on one end, and on the other, which make it looks like he can Darth Maul it. And to store it, you're going to need this adapter piece, and you put it right over here, or you could put it on the back of the shield. And since we're on the shield, this is what it looks like. Now, to attach the shield, you're going to have to switch it to this peg right here, and it is on a ball joint. And to store it, you're going to have to flip it back up. You plug it on this hole. One more little gimmick to show you is that if you want to put it on an action-based stand, you have to take out this piece. Since it's stuck up there, you might want to bring out like a little part separator, and hopefully I can get it out. Okay, now that I got it out, just don't lose this piece. And as you can see, it's not a normal 3mm hole, but luckily in my last review, the GPO2 has this kind of peg which you can plug in, and there you go. Moving on with articulation, the head is on a ball joint. Now if you want to move the mono eye, you're going to have to move the cap right here, and you can twist the mono eye from side to side. Yeah, I know it's a little tight on my copy. Yeah, this is what I mean. You're just going to have to push on these little tabs right there. For the shoulders, it can swing forward and backwards. You can do a little rotation, move up this far, which allows the arm to move this high. And speaking of the arms, it can rotate by side swivel, bend at the elbow 90 degrees, and ball joint on the wrist. As for a torso and skirt, there is a ball joint right up there which you can do backwards crunch and forwards crunch, and can move side to side. You also get a waist swivel. Now even though there is no front skirt and the back skirt is in a fixed position, if you want to move the side skirt, you have to pull it out just a little bit, and it's on a ball joint. For thigh, it is on a ball joint, so it does everything what a ball joint does. You also get some waist rotation, or hip rotation, excuse me. Double bend at the knee, which is really good back then. And moving on to the foot, there's like a little bit of movement of forward and backwards, but it is on a ball joint. And as for the pivot, well, it's not bad. As for the backpack, what backpack? Overall, the articulation on this kit, it's quite good. Even though it's not up to modern articulation standards, but trust me, you're gonna have fun handling this kit. Moving on to size comparisons, here it is right next to the standard size RX-78-2, and man, don't they look great together. Just throw in the LMF in there and boom, we got a party. Next up, you have one of Char's iconic mobile suits, his Zaku 2. Now, which one do you guys like better, his Gelgoog or his Zaku 2? Finally, here it is right next to Megatron with his wacky upgrades and Lego Sinestro. So that's going to be it for the size comparisons. Let's move on to my final thoughts. Moving on to my final thoughts. Overall, it's a really fun kit. Bandai managed to accomplish this with only 4 runners and a polycap runner. That's just amazing. And the color separation on this kit is almost perfect. And when I mean by almost, it's just that you have to paint in like the pink right up here in the beam rifle and the gray behind the shield. Oh, do I think this kit deserves revive? Well, yeah, it would be cool, but I would love to see an RG version of this kit. Other than that, even though it's an old model kit, I highly recommend you get this. That's gonna be it for the review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Also, happy Halloween. Be safe out there. If you guys are new here, be sure to subscribe if you want to see more content. Any questions, concerns, comment down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, remember that one time that Amuro and Shire worked together in the first Dynasty Warriors Gundam game? Anyone?